Welcome everybody to this Thursday, this May 1st meditation. The theme for this month is the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So we have the body. This is from Julia. This is Julia's words. The body, the physical sensations of the body that trigger all kinds of thought and story and emotion. Emotion are moods and feelings that trigger physical sensations, thought, and story. Thought are thinking minds, our biases and prejudices and memories, and images that trigger all kinds of physical sensations, emotions, and stories. And then our stories, our perceptions and perspectives, the conditioning we have all have that trigger physical sensations, emotions, and thought. And of course, these do all overlap. I thought today I was thinking a lot about what am I going to do for meditation? And then I remember that I do improv. And so I figured I'm going to improv a little bit of meditation. And what's been calling to me kind of since last night is doing the first on that list, the body. But of course, as we saw with Julia's explanation there, as you heard, is that all those things do interact, our body, our sensations, our thoughts, perceptions, everything. So, let's begin. And I want us just to come in and take a few deep breaths to begin our practice, kind of come into the room, come into our bodies, check in with our bodies. What did we bring with us today? What do we need to set down to begin our practice? So let's just take a couple of deep breaths. And actually, let's try something where we take a breath in, and then I want you to exhale, 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 till the point you can't exhale anymore, and then exhale some more. And then take a deep breath in. And then we're going to do that again. Exhale, 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 exhale. Can't anymore. Exhale more. There's more in there. More air. Squeeze it out. Squeeze it out. And then inhale in. And then you can kind of let your breathing return to normal. And I thought we'd do kind of a body scan today, but a playful one. I am a playful girl and I like to share my playfulness. So let's start with the feet. And I want you to either wiggle your toes or imagine your toes are wiggling. And let's see. Where have my feet been lately? Where have my feet taken me? Gratitude for the feet, gratitude for the toes, keeping me standing upright. And just kind of like wiggle into the ground. You can wiggle the whole foot and kind of move your ankles or imagine them wiggling. And then as we move up to our calves, I want us to kind of squeeze. Let's go ahead and squeeze the right one, like tense up. And you can maybe even point your foot as you do that, kind of squeeze all the way down from the calf, the foot, and then release. And then let's do that on the other side. So squeezing the calf, going all the way down into the left foot, pointing the left foot, maybe moving it around while it's squeezed, tensed up, and then release. And then as we get to our knees, depending on what kind of position you're in, if you want to do like a little bit of windshield wipering or some knee massage, just whatever helps you kind of like focus on your knees. How has my knees been supporting me lately? What's going on with my knees? Is there some pain there? Is there looseness? Do my knees feel wibbly wobbly and ready to jump around? And if you've got some jumpy energy, I have some jumpy energy, you might want to, just as we move up to the thighs, you can like kind of pick up each thigh and maybe do it even a little quicker between the right and left, right, left, and just jiggle the thighs and the knees. We're just gonna jiggle. And you can also place your palms down to help you ground and feel what's going on in these thighs. And as I'm sitting here, I'm kind of moving my right thigh out and forward, and contorting my hip as well, forward, and then my left thigh. So kind of getting from connecting the feet to the calves, to the knees, to the thighs, to the hips. And now I'm kind of moving each hip forward and back and forward and back. I still got that jumpy energy about me. And then as we kind of like go to the buttocks here, one thing I was doing yesterday, Julia suggested I do a whole meditation on shaking the booty, and I decided not to do that. But maybe one day we'll get to that. But instead of shaking the booty, let's just squeeze each side of the buttocks one at a time. So right buttocks squeeze, and you can sort of lean into your pelvis and feel what's going on there and what goes down all the way down the thigh, the knee, into the bottom of the leg, and then the left side. And then you can do that quickly. Just squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then we want to shake that out. And then we kind of get to our upper hips here. And let's imagine we're on a plane. And I don't know if you've seen belly dancers before, but let's keep our hips steady. We're not going to belly dance, don't worry. We're going to keep our hips steady in one place, but we're going to move our upper body, keeping our hips in one place, and we're going to move our upper body right, left, right, left, right, left. And if your hips move a little with you, that's fine. Right, left, right, left. And then we're going to take the body and we're going to do that on the other plane. I forget whether it's X or Y, but we're going to go ahead and go forward, back, forward, back. So kind of like cat cows, but seated. Forward, back. And then let's give our hips a little extra attention. I'm not sure if you know this, but trauma and fear is often stored in the hips. And so when we can move the body, that is a good way of releasing some of that trauma and fear, the things that keep us disconnected and maybe a little bit unable to see as clearly or recognize as clearly when we're numbing, even if we're not engaging in drastically harmful habit energy. We might feel, when we feel disconnected from our hips, from our disconnected place on the earth, I often find for myself that it's much easier for me to not realize I'm engaging in some sort of negative numbing. So kind of imagine a waterfall effect. Just your hips are waterfalling out and down the legs. And then let's take a deep breath there. Let's go ahead and give your belly a little massage. And if you want to work into the upper hips and back, that's good too. And then let's move up to the heart. And put your hands over your heart as I have, if you'd like. Or just imagine the hands of somebody who cares for you over your heart. And just breathe into the heart space here. Lower your shoulders. Do some shoulder rolls with the hand on the heart. Unclench your jaw. And then you can release the hands from the heart. And stretch them outwards. And move a little bit left if there's, or right if there's a space to do so. And left. And kind of play around. You can either leave your hands out or bring them in and play around with your fists. And feel into your wrist muscles, all those muscles that are involved when you make a fist clench. In fact, you want to make your fist clench right now so you can feel those muscles. Go ahead. Tight, tight, tight. Oh, put them up, put them up, put them up. And release. What were you clenching today? What were you holding? What were you wanting to punch, punch, punch? Oh, I certainly feel better in the shoulders and the jaw. Let's move up to our neck here. And if you want, you can give yourself a little self-massage. And I'm going kind of behind my ears. I have TMJ, and so my jaw is often clenched, and that affects all my muscles. So I'm just gonna rub up and down on my side neck muscles. I don't know the proper anatomy term for them, but however you want to massage your neck is good for you. And just feel into that. And then let's go up to our ears. What have you been hearing lately? Whether it's come from outside sources or from inside you. Who have you been listening to lately? Whether it's outside voices or coming from the inside. And just check in with your ears, the muscles around your ears, this big one behind the temple that kind of goes above the ear. That one I know the name of, the temporalis. That one gets tight on me, so I'm just going to give that one a little massage. You can do that too if you'd like. And all the while, don't forget to breathe. And so many times I stop myself throughout the day and I go, oh, I need to take a deep breath because I haven't been breathing. No wonder I'm anxious. I think perhaps if I stopped to do a body scan every now and then, even a quicker one than this one, I might remember to breathe more often. And let's move on to the face, the nose, the lips. What have you been speaking lately? Have you been wise with your words? Have you been unwise? Let's contemplate that without judgment. We're all unwise sometimes. We can't be perfect, and that's okay. And let's go ahead and move up to the forehead, right around where the third eye would be. And give that third eye a massage. You can tap it too if you'd like. Loving taps, not hard. You can contemplate both your seeing eyes and your intuition. What have you been seeing lately? What have you been seeing lately? And then let's bring that tippity tap up to the top of the head. Stand up real tall, or sit up real tall rather. Let's tippity top the top of the head, the crown chakra, our connection to source. And as we do this tap in, I want you to feel into your feet as well and wiggle your toes again. Plant those feet and feel the top of your head and feel that connection from ground to the top of your head and beyond to the sky, to the tippity top, to your soul connection, to your higher self, to the universe, to the divine. Tippity tap, tippity tap. Tap your toes and tap your head. And as we kind of come to a conclusion here, you can go ahead and move your body a little bit. See if any part of your body wants a little extra attention, a little extra tap or movement. I'm just swinging my head side to side. Take another deep breath. Really feel my butt in my chair, my connections, the earth, the sky, and the divine. And then slowly, as you're ready, you can open your eyes if they were closed and come on back into the room. Mhm. All right, everybody. So that was our first practice in, let's see, the Buddhist love lists, the four foundation of mindfulness. I'm always mixing them up because there's four lists of four of so many things. That was a body practice, and that was improv. So I hope it went well. Let's go ahead and end this practice with a dedication of merit as we wiggled our toes today and tippity tapped and shookity shook our hips and booties. We tapped into our body awareness, something many people on this earth wander around, even able-bodied, without having. May we be grateful for the practice we shared today, for the practice of coming together, for this Sangha, for this community, for this support, to not only feel supported by our chair or in our seat, but also by this community. And so may any goodness from this practice ripple outwards and touch those lives that need this practice, need this love, need this compassion, need this kindness. And so it is. So let it be. Thank you, everyone, for joining me.